You ever meet someone who just always seems to land on their feet? Like money flows to them, opportunities drop in their lap, and they don't even look like they're trying that hard. Meanwhile, you're grinding, checking every box, and still feel stuck in the same damn loop. Here's the wild part. It's not just about what they do. It's about what they're tuned into. No fluff, no magic wand. I'm talking about real, measurable energy. Your brain, your emotions, your thoughts. They're all broadcasting a frequency 24/7, and money, believe it or not, is responding to it. Sounds a little out there, right? I get it. But there's actual science behind this. And more importantly, there's a way to flip the switch and start attracting wealth by literally changing your inner settings. No wishy-washy nonsense. I'm breaking it down step by step in this video. If you've ever felt like you are doing everything right, but still not seeing results, stick around. Because by the end of this, you'll understand why and exactly how to start tuning your vibe to earn big. Let's get into it. All right, let's break this down, because this is where everything starts to click. When I say frequency, I'm not talking about something mystical or abstract. I'm talking about something real and measurable. Let's keep it simple. Frequency is just energy in motion. And guess what? You're made of energy. Your thoughts? Energy. Your emotions? Energy. And all of that energy, it's vibrating constantly. Whether you are conscious of it or not, think about how a radio works. You can only hear the music that's playing on the station you are tuned into, right? You can't listen to 101.1 FM if your dial is set to 88.7. Now, apply that to your life. If your internal station is stuck on doubt, fear, or lack, you're not going to receive the signals for abundance, wealth, or growth. You're not tuned in. Let me give you a relatable example. Have you ever had a day where everything just clicked? You felt confident. You were smiling at people. Ideas were flowing. Opportunities showed up. Maybe even some unexpected money. That's not a coincidence. That's you. In that moment, being in a high-frequency state, you're giving off an energy of possibility and confidence, and the world responds to that. Now, on the flip side, you know those days where you wake up in a bad mood, spill your coffee, run late, your mind's full of stress, and then everything just keeps going downhill? That's also not random. That's low-frequency energy in motion. You're unintentionally broadcasting a signal of nothing's working, and boom, life delivers more of exactly that. Here's the key idea I want you to take in. Your inner state is creating your outer results. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're in harmony with. And this isn't just motivational fluff. There's actual science behind it. The HeartMath Institute has found that your heart emits an electromagnetic field. Not only that, it changes based on your emotional state. Positive emotions like gratitude, love, and excitement generate coherent, smooth frequencies. Stress, fear, or frustration, that field becomes erratic and chaotic. So what does this mean for wealth? It means that when your dominant inner state is stress about money, fear of not having enough, or frustration that things aren't working out, you're literally operating on a frequency that repels wealth. You're unintentionally tuned to scarcity and wealth. It's playing on a completely different channel. But, and this is the good news, that signal is totally adjustable. You have the power to shift your inner dial. You can train your thoughts, your emotions, and your daily habits to start matching the frequency of wealth. That's not a metaphor. That's a literal shift in how you think, feel, and act, and it starts to attract different results. Just like you can't lift heavy at the gym on day one, you won't jump to Wealth FM overnight. But once you start adjusting the dial, even a little, you'll start to notice something. Opportunities show up. Ideas click faster. People treat you differently. You start taking better actions, and wealth follows those actions. This is where things get really interesting. Because now that you know what frequency is and how it relates to wealth, the next step is figuring out what frequency you are currently on and how to change it. Stick with me, because I'm going to show you exactly how to diagnose your current signal and start shifting it into alignment with abundance. This is where transformation starts. Now that you've got a solid grip on what frequency is, let's talk about why so many people, maybe even you without realizing it, are tuned to the wrong one. And don't worry, this isn't about blame. It's about awareness. Because once you see the pattern, you can change the pattern. Let's paint a picture. You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, you're already thinking about how much you didn't get done yesterday. You grab your phone, notifications, bills, maybe a news headline that triggers anxiety. Your brain, already in survival mode. Your body, tensing up without you noticing. That calm, focused version of you, gone. Now you're playing mental whack-a-mole with stress. That's scarcity frequency. And it's invisible. That's the dangerous part. You might not walk around saying, "I am broke, I am stressed" out loud, but your thoughts, your emotional state, your habits, they're all silently repeating that signal over and over. And energy doesn't lie. It just reflects. Here's the catch. Most people are so used to that low-frequency state, they don't even realize they're in it. It feels normal. But normal isn't working. Not if you're stuck, constantly struggling, and wondering why abundance seems to skip your address. Let me give you a few common signs that you are broadcasting on the wrong frequency. You constantly say things like, "I can't afford it," or "I'm just trying to survive." Even if it's a joke, your subconscious doesn't know the difference. It hears that and adjusts your filter to match. You feel triggered when someone else wins. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel annoyed. That's your inner signal saying, "That kind of success isn't for me." You associate wealth with stress, greed, or guilt. Deep down, you might actually fear what comes with more money, responsibility, pressure, judgment. That hidden belief, it blocks the flow every time. Let's zoom out for a second and go deeper. As kids, we absorb the emotional patterns of the people around us. If your parents always said things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or you watched them fight about bills, guess what kind of frequency that trains you to live in? That not enough energy becomes your baseline. You grow up thinking it's normal to struggle, to feel anxious about money, or to hustle nonstop just to stay afloat. But here's the truth. You weren't born with a scarcity mindset. You were programmed into one. The good news? Anything that was programmed can be reprogrammed. We're not just talking vibes here. We're talking neural patterns. Your brain builds pathways based on repetition. So if you've spent years thinking money is hard, that thought has become a well-worn trail in your mind. Every time you think it, you reinforce it. That trail becomes your default frequency. And that's exactly why I see people can read all the books, watch all the motivational videos, work 12-hour days, and still stay stuck. Because they're doing the right actions, but from the wrong energetic state. You can't plant seeds in poisoned soil and expect a good harvest. And listen, if this is hitting a little close to home, good. That means you're awake. And once you're awake, you can choose something different. Because just like a radio, the second you become aware you're on the wrong station, you can twist that dial. And in the next section, we're going to talk about what that new station actually is and how to tune into the frequency law that aligns with wealth, flow, and abundance. Let's go deeper. Okay, Now that you understand what frequency is and why most people are unknowingly stuck in the wrong one, it's time to introduce the frequency law, the foundation of everything we're about to build from here on out. And here it is. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. Let that sink in for a second. It's not about wanting more money. It's not even about working harder. It's about becoming the kind of person, emotionally, mentally, energetically, that naturally attracts wealth. This law works just like gravity, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to believe in gravity for it to make your phone hit the floor if you drop it, right? Same with this. The frequency you operate on, your dominant emotional state, thought patterns, and core beliefs, is always attracting things that match it. Let's break it down. If you're operating from fear, self-doubt, or never enough energy, that's your frequency. You can say affirmations all day like, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant. But if underneath that you feel broke, scared, or undeserving, the signal you're sending out is still one of lack. And that's what comes back. Your vibration is stronger than your vocabulary. Your energy is louder than your intentions. On the other hand, when someone truly believes in their own worth, when they feel confident, expansive, and grateful, even if they're not rich yet, their frequency is already aligned with abundance. And that alignment pulls wealth in, like a magnet. Let me give you a quick, real-world example. You've probably heard stories of people who lose everything, job, money, status, and then bounce back even bigger than before. Ever wonder how that happens? It's because while their circumstances changed, their inner frequency didn't drop. They still felt worthy. They still carried belief. They stayed connected to possibility, not panic. And so their reality realigned to meet that vibe. Here's the key. Wealth is not a destination. It's a frequency you embody. The more you live, breathe, and behave like someone who's already connected to wealth, not in a fake it till you make it way, but a feel it till you become it way, the more the outer world starts to shift. Now, you might be wondering, okay, cool, but how do I actually change my frequency? Perfect. That's exactly what we're getting into next. But before we go there, I want you to remember this one-liner. Write it down, put it on your mirror, whatever. Your frequency is the filter. Wealth is the reflection. Let's move on and break down the science and real-life examples behind this. So it's not just philosophy. It's something you believe and use. So now you're probably thinking, okay, this whole frequency stuff sounds powerful. But is it just mindset talk? Or is there actual science behind it? Great question. Let's ground this in reality, because once you realize how much your biology backs this up, it becomes impossible to ignore. Let's start with your brain. Ever heard of the reticular activating system, or RAS? It's a small bundle of nerves at the base of your brainstem that acts like a filter, deciding what information your brain pays attention to. Here's how it works. Imagine you just bought a red car. Suddenly, you start seeing red cars everywhere. Were they always there? Yep. But your brain had been ignoring them until it decided that red cars were relevant. The RAS is constantly scanning your environment for patterns that match your dominant beliefs and emotional state. So if deep down, you believe I'm always broke, your RAS starts filtering your world through that lens. You overlook opportunities. You don't notice that someone offered to connect you to a client. You walk right past the solution to your financial struggle because your brain says, that doesn't match what we believe. And this is why so many people work hard, but never break through. Their filter is outdated. Their frequency is off. Now let's bring in the heart. Yes, literally. The HeartMath Institute, a research organization, has been studying the heart's role in emotional and energetic states for decades. They've proven that your heart generates an electromagnetic field that is 5,000 times stronger than the one your brain emits. Even crazier? That field changes based on your emotions. When you are feeling gratitude, peace, love, the field becomes smooth and synchronized. That's called coherence. When you are stressed, afraid, or anxious, the field becomes jagged, erratic, and chaotic. This matters because when your heart and brain are in coherence, you think clearer, make better decisions, and, well, here's the big one. You start aligning with higher frequency outcomes. In other words, your biology is proving what ancient teachings have been saying for centuries. Your internal state creates your external reality. And look, I get that science is one thing, but let's talk real-life proof. Let's bring it back to the streets. Example 1. The broke freelancer who shifted his frequency. There's a guy I know who used to be a broke freelancer. Super talented, but always undercharging, attracting nightmare clients, and feeling invisible online. He started doing one thing. Before every workday, he sat down for 10 minutes and imagined what it felt like to be in demand, highly paid, respected. He didn't just visualize, he practiced the emotion of already having it. Within a few weeks, he raised his rates, got his first premium client. More referrals started coming in. Why? Because his behavior shifted to match his new frequency. He didn't wait to feel abundant after he made money. He felt it first, and the money followed. Example 2. From survival mode to synchronicity. Another friend, a single mom, started practicing daily gratitude for the tiniest things: clean water, a good night's sleep, even just the sunlight coming through her window. She didn't win the lottery. She didn't suddenly get rich overnight. But she did start noticing unexpected checks, old debts being paid back, new job opportunities, and free resources showing up when she needed them most. She told me one day, "It's like once I stopped fighting life and started feeling thankful for what I had, life started giving me more." That's frequency law in action. She changed her signal, and reality had no choice but to catch up. Point is, this isn't just positive thinking. This is about training your brain, heart, and habits to line up with what you say you want, so that your reality reflects it. And the best part? Anyone can do this. No matter where you're starting from, no matter how bad things look, your frequency is not fixed, it's flexible, it's trainable. And once you learn how to shift it, everything else starts to shift with it. And that's what we're diving into next. I'm about to walk you through exactly how to tune your frequency using 5 simple, powerful steps so you can start attracting wealth by alignment, not struggle. Let's get into the how. All right, now that we've covered what frequency is, why most people are stuck on the wrong one, and how science backs this up, it's time to answer the big question. How do I actually change my frequency and tune in to wealth? Because remember, this isn't about wishing harder or hoping the universe magically sends you a check. This is about intentional alignment. Think of these next steps like a tuning fork. Each one brings your internal state closer to the frequency that attracts abundance. Let's dive into the 5-step process. Step 1. The awareness audit. Before you can change your frequency, you need to know what station you are currently tuned into. This first step is about becoming radically honest with yourself. Not in a judgmental way, just observational. Spend one full day tracking your dominant thoughts, emotions, and language around money and self-worth. Here's how. Keep a small notepad, or use the Notes app on your phone. Every time you catch yourself thinking something like, "Can't afford that. People like me don't make money like that. Who would pay me that much?" Write it down. You're not trying to fix it yet. Just notice the patterns. Why this matters? Awareness changes everything. Once you see how often your internal dialogue contradicts abundance, you'll understand why you're stuck. Most people are broadcasting scarcity 90% of the day without even realizing it. Pro tip: add a column that says frequency level and rate each thought 110. Low vibe, fear, doubt, HD1. High vibe, gratitude, confidence, H10. You'll quickly spot trends. Step 2. Frequency reversal. Reframe the signal. Now that you're aware of the old frequency, it's time to flip the signal. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about shifting your default reactions. Let's say your awareness audit catches a thought like, I can't afford that. Here's how you flip it. How can I afford this? What would someone who's abundant do in this moment? Even better, turn it into possibility. Money flows to me, Fossey, in ways I don't expect yet. You're not lying to yourself. You're training your brain to ask better questions, which activates your reticular activating system, RAS, to look for solutions instead of staying locked in limitations. You see a course you want to buy, and your default thought is, I don't have the money. Instead of stopping there, try, who could I serve this week that might help me earn this? What resources haven't I tapped into yet? Suddenly, your frequency shifts from closed to curious, and that's where movement happens. Step 3. Emotional anchoring. Your frequency isn't just about thoughts, it's about how you feel. And one of the fastest ways to raise your vibration is through emotional anchors, tools that instantly boost your internal state. Here's how to use them. Create a playlist of songs that make you feel unstoppable, your wealth frequency playlist. Close your eyes for 3 minutes and visualize your future self, confident, free, abundant. Recall a moment you felt powerful, loved, or successful, and replay it like a movie in your head. Why it works is, emotions are energy. The more you feel elevated emotions like gratitude, certainty, joy, and love, the more you shift into a frequency that aligns with wealth. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, your body doesn't know the difference between a real and vividly imagined experience. That means when you feel wealthy, even if your bank account says otherwise, your body and energy field start shifting in that direction. Use your emotional anchors every morning or whenever your energy dips. Step 4. Gratitude amplifications. You've heard people say practice gratitude 1,000,000 times, but here's the truth. Most people are doing it wrong. They list things, but they don't feel them. Gratitude isn't just a checklist, it's an energetic amplifier. The more you feel grateful for what you already have, the more you attract things to be grateful for. Here's how to do it right. Write down 3 things you are grateful for, as if you already have them. I'm so grateful for the financial freedom I now experience. I'm thankful for the dream clients flowing into my life. Close your eyes and actually feel what it would be like if those things were real. Not a wish, but a reality. Speak them out loud in the mirror. Sound plus emotion yields powerful frequency transmission. Gratitude is the secret cheat code because it instantly shifts your focus from lack to abundance, which literally changes your energetic field. Step 5. Daily alignment ritual. Now you've got all the pieces, but to make this stick, you need a daily ritual that aligns your mind, emotions, and energy first thing in the morning. Here's a simple morning frequency routine you can do in 10 minutes. 1 minute of deep breathing, center your nervous system. 2 minutes of visualization, your future wealthy self living fully. 2 minutes of affirmations, spoken with belief, not just robotic laws. 3 minutes of emotional anchoring, play music or recall moments of power. 2 minutes of gratitude amplification, feel it in your body. That's it. 10 minutes to completely reset your frequency every morning. Want to go further? Add journaling, stretching, or meditation. But even if you start with just this, it's enough to start shifting your default energy. Because here's the truth. Success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from becoming more aligned. So to recap your 5 steps to tune into the frequency of wealth. 1. Awareness audit. Spot the patterns. 2. Frequency reversal. Flip the thoughts. 3. Emotional anchoring. Feel the wealth energy daily. 4. Gratitude amplification. Magnetize abundance. Daily alignment ritual. Lock in your frequency. You're not just learning this, you're becoming this. And when that internal frequency locks in, the external shifts can't help but follow. Now let's move on. Because before you start this journey, there's one more thing we need to talk about. The doubts, the setbacks, the "what if I still don't feel it" moments. Let's clear those up next, so nothing holds you back. Okay, let's get real for a second. By now, your mind might be starting to push back, just a little. Maybe a voice in your head is whispering things like, "But what if I don't believe this stuff? What if I try and nothing changes? Isn't this just feel-good fluff that doesn't really work in the real world?" And if that's happening for you, perfect. That means you're paying attention. And more importantly, it means your old beliefs are being challenged. Let's unpack this, because doubt is a normal part of rewiring your frequency. You're not broken. You're not BS. You're just human. What if I don't believe in this yet? First of all, you don't have to believe in this fully for it to start working. You just need to be open enough to try it. Think of it like trying a new gym routine. You might not be convinced you'll see results, but you show up, follow the plan, and something starts shifting. Same here. You don't need blind faith. You just need curiosity and a willingness to experiment with your energy. Try this. Instead of saying, "I don't believe this will work," say, "Let me see what changes if I shift how I show up." That subtle shift is huge. Because remember, belief grows with evidence, but action creates evidence. So the more you show up and feel the shift even in small ways, the more your belief will catch up. What if nothing changes right away? Such a good question, and an honest one. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. But here's the truth. Your frequency isn't a light switch. It's more like a dimmer. It shifts gradually. You're not just changing thoughts. You're rewiring neural pathways, emotional habits, and decades of internal programming. That takes a little time. But here's the wild thing. You often feel the change before you see it. You feel calmer, more focused, less reactive, more hopeful. And that internal change is what creates the outer shift, not the other way around. So instead of watching your bank account for proof, watch your energy. Are you thinking differently? Making better decisions? Feeling more empowered? Those are signs you're already moving. Keep going. The results will catch up. What if I try this and fall back into my old habits? Let's be honest, that might happen. And again, totally normal. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be consistent enough to shift momentum. The key is this. Don't let one off day convince you that it's not working. Don't throw out the whole radio just because you accidentally tuned back to Scarcity FM for a few hours. The goal isn't to never feel low-frequency emotions. The goal is to become aware enough to shift back quicker. You don't fail when you feel fear. You fail when you let fear become your permanent frequency. You can start without perfect belief. Results might not be instant, but they're inevitable when you stick with it. Setbacks don't mean you're broken. They mean you're growing. So if you're feeling resistance, good. That means your old identity is being challenged. You're stepping into a new version of yourself. And your old mindset, it's not going down without a fight. But that's how you know this is the work that matters. And now that those doubts are on the table and out of your way, it's time to finish strong. because I've got a powerful challenge for you coming up next, and it could be the spark that makes this whole shift real. Let's get into it. All right. Now that you're equipped with the awareness, the science, and the steps to start tuning into the frequency of wealth, it's time to take this from interesting to life-changing. Because here's the thing. Knowing all this won't change your life. Doing it daily will. So I've got a challenge for you. Simple, powerful, no excuses. And if you really commit to it, even just for 1 week, you'll start to feel that shift happening inside you. The kind that attracts external results. Here's how it works. For the next 7 days, every morning, before you pick up your phone, before you check your email, I want you to spend just 10 intentional minutes tuning your frequency. Use this exact mini ritual. 1 minute of stillness and deep breathing. Get grounded. 2 minutes visualizing your wealth reality, not just seeing it, but feeling it. 2 minutes of powerful spoken affirmations. Say them like you mean them. 3 minutes of emotional anchoring. Music, movement, memory, anything that lights you up. 2 minutes of future-focused gratitude. Thank the universe for what's already on the way. Set a timer if you need to. Make it non-negotiable. And here's the kicker. I'm tuning in to Wealth FM. That's your commitment. Your energetic signature. It tells me, and more importantly you, that you're done passively waiting for change and ready to create it. And if you're feeling bold, share this challenge with a friend. Someone who's been stuck. Someone you want to see win. Doing this together makes the energy even stronger. And if you haven't already, hit that like button if this video sparked something in you. It helps this message reach more people who need it. Remember, the frequency law only works when you apply it. And this 7-day challenge, that's your entry point. Your personal signal boost. Let's shift your vibe and tune in to the version of you that was always meant to thrive. Because you're not just watching this video anymore, you're becoming the proof that it works. Let's finish strong. So here we are. We've gone deep today. We talked about how frequency isn't just a spiritual idea. It's real, measurable energy that you're sending out into the world 24/7. We explored why most people stay stuck in scarcity, even when they are working hard. We broke down the frequency law, that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. We backed it up with science, with stories, and with steps you can take right now to start tuning your energy toward wealth. And we issued a challenge, one that could actually flip the switch in your life if you show up for it. Now, here's the final truth I want to leave you with. Wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. You don't hustle your way into abundance, you align into it. This doesn't mean you sit around and wait. It means you start showing up every day as the version of you who's already worthy, already powerful, already vibrating at the level where abundance flows naturally. Because here's the secret no one tells you. The version of you that's wealthy, the version of you that feels free, fulfilled, confident, generous, that version already exists. They're already broadcasting on a higher frequency. Your only job is to tune in. That's it. So take this message with you. Let it echo in your mind the next time doubt creeps in or scarcity thoughts pop up. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you really are underneath all the noise and line up your signal with that truth. And when you do, life starts to sound different. The noise fades, and the music of abundance, the wealth, the ease, the flow, starts coming through clear as day. Now go. Tune in, turn it up, and watch what happens.